Everybody, and welcome back to the very, well, semi-final video of this playthrough. Um, Depending on if I decide to do the DLC or not, this will be the last one. If I do, then technically it won't be. But that really does depend, because I played the DLC already, and honestly, it was nothing very memorable. Now, no, I actually wanted that. Seriously, I did not like it. I thought it was just. It was very short, too. That's another thing I didn't like about it. I felt like it was already in the game, and then it was just. Then they just added it later. And it just. It's like. Something like that, to me, should have already been in the game. That, to me, is not considered DLC. That's just considered, like, some bonus content to me. Like, it just. It didn't feel very special. And that, to me, I feel DLC is supposed to feel special. And holy crap, she took off her hood. Oh, will do. Will do! If I can remember where I put the Leo ring. Ah, here it is. Alright. I can only imagine how difficult this boss fight is gonna be for me. Oh, man. Nashandra, maybe not as much. Throne Watcher and Defender? Yeah, could be an issue. Here we go, guys. Here we go. She makes that shield look so much bigger than it really is. Okay. Ah, fucker. I should be okay for a little while. Fuck. Okay. Okay. Um... You're not very smart, are you? Alright. And to think the shit has just begun. Oh boy. You know what? I'm gonna let this cutscene play out because I don't see it very often, and I figure let's make this video interesting since it's the last one. She's one creepy mofo, man. I was ready to get cursed. To be honest, like, I knew I was going to. Stupid cursing. Okay, she's gonna explode. Drink quickly. Alright. Yeah, she's a dead. I'm so sorry, Nishandra. I didn't think it was gonna be that quick. Alright. I wonder if this is the killing of the first flame, though. Or just another one. You know, I don't know. Take a screenshot of that. You never know, you might need it. Or I might need it for something. Well, it was fun to go through that again. I knew I could do it like this with this character. The traveling merchant knows no bounds, my friends. None at all. For he is the true master. It's the curse, man. I wonder if there'll ever be a Dark Souls where you actually figure out how to get rid of the curse instead of just prolonging it every time. Sorry about all the screenshots. I just think this part's really interesting. I like how there's a throne engraved within a throne. Oh, that was a shitty picture. Oh, not so bad. Indeed. Alright, that's enough screenshots. And that's all she's saying, my friends. Well, also the DLC, I suppose, as well, but... Actually, the DLC bosses are actually probably harder than these ones, to be honest, but... Still, it just wasn't quite the same. Oh, I can't seem to skip this. Alright, well, since I can't even skip it to begin with, I'm assuming nobody really wants to watch credits of this game anyway. So maybe I'll take my time and talk. What I'd like to say, though, is I like this game. Don't get me wrong, I really do. Especially the PvP aspect of it. Now, a lot of people would disagree with me on that, because a lot of people preferred the PvP in the first one. But hear me out. When I played PvP in the first Dark Souls, the lag was just always bad. Like, it was never good, and if it was ever bad, it could have always been worse, and it always seemed to be worse. And it didn't matter how much I tried, how many fights I was in, I could never consistently win a fight. It was always death and death, 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 death. I don't know if it was me. I don't think it was, because the lag in that one was just unbearable. It was unpredictable. It was just horrible in my opinion. I could not stand it. Now with the second one, I feel the PvP, yes, still laggy, but it's a lot more predictable. A lot more, it makes more sense. I mean, yes, there's still lag. There has always been, and this one still has it, unfortunately. And some games are always laggier than others. But this one seems a lot more consistent and a lot more predictable than the first one. To me. But I will say, I think, the area better in the first Dark Souls. I think I liked the boss fights a little bit more too in the first one, and the weapon selection and the variety of weapon attacks that they had and whatnot. I thought were really cool. In this one, there's a variety, but I felt the first one had a little bit more variety, or interesting variety, I should say, in interesting areas. So that's what I find interesting, is I like one for other reasons, and right. So, but then when it comes to a game like Demon's Souls, I don't even know if you can really compare it to this, because yes, it's technically the same game, but it's not really part of the series though. So I don't really like to compare it to Demon's Souls, because Demon's Souls to me feels like a different game, even though it's still very similar. Still a good game though. I never actually finished the first one. I got to the king fight, and I fought him once, and I just got frustrated when he killed me when he had like no health left. So I never went back to doing that. But again, I like both Dark Souls 1 and 2. I just think I like the second one merely because PvP is a lot more playable in my opinion. Um, so, and I mean the story was kind of cool too. And I always want to make my own playthrough of me going through a Dark Souls game, and this just so happened to be the second one that I was able to do it on. And I hope maybe this playthrough helps some people. I mean, it might. We also have to take into consideration that this was not on New Game Plus. So New Game Plus is a lot. Well, I shouldn't say a lot different, but it is different. You know, creatures definitely will do more damage and have more health, and there are more enemy spawns that aren't in the first playthrough. Uh, I might do that. It really depends. As of right now, I don't plan on it because I don't have a big enough fan base to really have anybody saying that they want me to do that. So I'm going to keep it like this for now and see if anybody says anything or whatever it might be, or maybe somebody having suggestions for games that I could play, or suggestions to how to make things better to watch, for all that matter. Any suggestions, any comments, any negativity is always welcome. I love listening to people's opinions, and I love when people watch my playthroughs and whatnot. I love that feeling of now someone seeing how I play a game, and how would they compare it, or would they use the way I play and the way they play it? Is it helpful? I mean, I know I take ideas from other people, just like everybody does, and I implement it in my own way. And I felt this was a pretty fun playthrough. Actually, I never imagined just doing the entire playthrough wearing the merchant armor. I mean, it didn't seem to really matter that much. I didn't have the highest defense in the world, no, but I didn't really need that, so to speak, right? But overall, it's a challenging game, but at the same time, it's a very reasonable game. You just have to know what you're doing. You can't be crazy and just go ham on everything because you think you can, because even the simplest of enemies can kill you. And I think that's what a lot of people don't like, is that they always feel they're not strong enough. And I think I like that. I like that challenge, because if you feel too powerful in any game, then I think the game's failed in making the game interesting. Because I think that's what makes people go back to games like this, is because it's always a challenge regardless of how strong you think you are. Whereas a game like Skyrim, for example, still a great game. Don't get me wrong, Skyrim. Like I still play Skyrim on this with mods and stuff. Like I love it. I love being a vampire and all the other extra things I can do. I mean, I might do a couple videos of that character, just screwing around, because it's always fun. You never know what's gonna happen in Skyrim. It's fun. But it's not challenging, right? It's never challenging. I mean, I've ramped up the difficulty really really high and made sure they did more damage and had more health, but I guess the items I have are just way too powerful, so they ultimately they can't really seem to do any damage to me. Uh, which is just how it is, right? I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, I think that's my next thing I might do. I might do some videos on Skyrim. Or, now I'm thinking about it, maybe I'll decide to do some videos, or some PvP videos. Like, maybe I'll do some videos of me player versus playing with this guy. That might be kind of cool. I mean, I'm kind of curious to see how many fights I could win like this. I don't know. I would imagine quite a few. I'd like to think so anyway. I think it'd be kind of fun to do that. I mean, I'm not level 150 by any means, like that meta zone that everyone's looking for, but I think I might try that for a bit. Maybe I'll do that on one of my other videos of me player versus playing. Playering. It's quite an interesting thought, or tongue twister. So yeah, thank you so much if you watched this entire playthrough, or you know what, even some of them. I really appreciate all the views and all the people that like the video or leave a comment. Uh, I've always wanted to do this, and I'm glad I was able to finally do it. So, if you enjoyed this as much as I did, that's fantastic. I really did. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. All the best, and I will see you next time.